have changed in so many ways at once. Has the day begun? I lived one life. Has the day ended? I had begun anew, reborn with a new life, a new mission, reborn with a new vision. What may come, I don't know yet, but I am here alive, living my life to the fullest, with new love in my heart and soul, a gift to have, a gift to give, a new life of love, reborn.
Hi guys, welcome to Wounds to Wisdom. This is Teresa. I am your host. It is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. Hey Millie, welcome, darling. I just got a puppy here in my lap, which is really good news because I'm feeling the energy out there in the world. Josh, been thinking about you all day, hon. Sending you so much love. And I know, I don't know how it's 5 p.m. already. And it's nice out today here in Massachusetts. A little cool. And then it got warm. And I've been cleaning up some stuff, hanging out with the dogs. I'm going through piles of stuff because my energy's been stuck. And we're going to talk about that today. But one of the things is if I keep moving and I do laundry and I clean the backyard and blah, 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 I'll start to feel better. And, I'm the first one to say I'm living my grief. And it's not just the loss of my dad. It's change. It's trying to figure out what do I do now and in this time and in this space, and feeling overwhelmed and feeling financially strapped and a little disappointed that I'm not in a better situation. However, I am grateful, right? I have a roof over my head. I have food on my table. I have these 2 chucklehead puppies and my kitty cat, Marley. I am grateful that I have some decent neighbors. I have good friends. I miss my friends that are not physically close to me. I miss. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm in anticipatory sorrow for losing a couple of family members that are older and just struggling, and it's breaking my freaking heart. So I think as we look at today and what I wanted to talk about a little bit, I know I'm not alone. And, we all feel drained sometimes. Whether it's by a person or a place or a situation or a thing, whatever it is. And sometimes we don't know why. And I had therapy today, and I was like, I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time. So, Grace, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So I think that as we all talk, I'm going to be talking about cleansing our energy and raising our own vibration and comforting ourselves, right? Because sometimes there isn't someone there to give you the comfort, the physical comfort. And that's a tough situation. However, I'm not saying that I wish that I changed that situation either. Um, and that's one of the things that I'm working through in my life, because when I have invited people into my physical space, I come out the loser. I come out hurt and wounded, disappointed. Um, and as time has gone by and I have embraced the energy healing and energy practice, I'm more in tune, aware, awakened to what I do want and who I want in my life and what I don't want. And it's also learning to say what you don't want. So I'm curious, before I dive in, what are some of the favorite ways you guys have for cleansing your energy? And let's just put that in the comments and see if, we can use that as a guideline today. I have some things that I'm going to share, but I'm just curious, it's what else? And so, sometimes we need to reclaim our light. And that's what we were talking about in the introduction. How do we restore joy when we've gotten our ass kicked? And since I only have so many members, Mish, thanks for being here. You know, when you feel like you've just gotten your ass kicked, and I think I have 130 members, and I'm grateful for every last one of the subscribers. But I can still say ass kicking. And it's we need our emotional healing. We need to change the mindset in our brain and self-empowerment, right? I think I did say awaken, sister. I most certainly did. See, you were on my mind. And, let's talk about how we recognize when we're energetically drained. And I will also say, hey, Aria, thank you for being here. We have a full moon, right? We have the strawberry moon that's out there, gorgeous in the sky. I keep missing it really because by the time it shifts around to where I can see it, it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And uh, so I got up the first night and I was standing out in the middle of the street looking up, but I have to be careful in my neighborhood. So, um, I'd like to see it again because the moon is my voice. It calls to me. And using the techniques we already know, breath work, music, movement, affirmations, to awaken our inner zhuzh, our inner vitality, our inner joyfulness, our inner balance, our inner reclamation of self, to restore our own joy. Because sometimes we're just done. We've been kicked to the curb, and we're done, and we're tired. And if there isn't somebody there to cheer you up, cheerlead you, champion you, it is really hard to dig yourself out of that hole. And that is what happens to me with grief. It's what happens to me when I'm down on myself for being in the situation that I'm in. So it's a combination of all of these things. And so I wanted to talk about it today. And what does it look like to move ourselves through these moments in time? So I like to smoke, cleanse my energy, or Florida water, sunlight in combination with speaking into the universe what I want. Very interesting, Millie. Great. I love the sunlight, but I love a moon bath. I love my regeneration comes from the moon. Since I was a little girl, I wish I had a picture of it. Um, I grew up in a very remote town in upstate New York. There was me and then trees. And on our little stoop, I would sit and I had this incredible view straight ahead of the moon, whether it was full or not, but usually on a full moon. And I would sit there and I'd be like, please come take me back. I don't belong here. I don't fit in. Take me back. And I was a little girl. So I've not fit in. I've not belonged in this world my whole life. And that's not a poor, pitiful me. I believe that our souls do choose to come here for either my own benefit, my own higher self needed another lesson or an ass kicking. I'd like to tell my higher self, all right, my ass has been kicked. Thank you. Can we get to the good stuff? And is there good stuff in this life? And there is. So again, this is not a whiny, poor, pitiful me thing. Mish says, I won't be able to interact much because, okay. Oh, that's fine, sweetheart. Misha sent you a picture. Oh, and that they're talking amongst each other. So sometimes what I have found and what I've talked to clients about in the past is small wins. So, we want to feel fantastic, right? Immediately. And I have these two chucklehead puppies, and I do. Look at that. How can your heart not be filled with love looking at that little boy? The other one's on the ottoman by the window, but look at that face. Look at that little body. I swear to God, when I'm sad, that's what brings me some joy. Sorry for moving the camera, but I had to show you guys. And that's Luca. Biscotti's by the window. We may hear him bark. He's protecting the house and he's protecting Mama. So, how do these tiny daily victories rebuild confidence and momentum? I know, Aria. These dogs are the loves of my life. We're going to talk about that. But, being in sacred stillness, why, sometimes doing nothing is the most healing act. Sitting in our space, in this moment, in this time, breathing in and out, and just being in this moment, putting our hands together in prayer over our heart, over our throat, over our third eye, over our crown. It's where do we feel vacant? I think sometimes the simplest act is the most therapeutic. And one of the things that I've been doing, and I keep promising this and it's not ready, but I will, is I sit in my backyard, tiny little backyard, but I call it a chuppah. It's that's a Jewish word for a tent. Basically, it's a little tent over outside of my backyard, and I have a little chair, and the dogs will sit with me. And I just put up some curtains because the sun sometimes comes in, and I'm really light sensitive. I always was as a little kid, but it got worse on my 40th birthday when I ended up, I went to Hawaii, but I got really badly burned when I was walking on the volcanoes. And I am light sensitive to this day. I can't go out without a long sleeve shirt on, or I will pay the consequences. And so I sit there and I am, as everybody else, addicted to this. And I am more and more turning it off. I am say disconnecting. That's such a harsh adjective, but I'm definitely slowing down on the amount of YouTube, on the amount of TV that I'm watching or listening to, um, so that I can be in the silence. The energy that is pulsating in our universe. And I don't know if any of you are highly sensitive to this energy, but I feel a great shift energetically, and it's almost uncomfortable. I also find my own shifting happening at the same time of what I will allow, what I won't allow in my own life, how I want to live, how do I respond to situations. All of this is a work in progress for me, by the way. So I have not achieved nirvana here. There are no, Christmas bells ringing that I've gotten it, and, 2 thumbs up for me. The other way I find to snap out of it, for lack of a better word, is to go into the childlike joy. And for me, the childlike joy is with my dogs. If you don't have a pet, it's finding the laughter. So maybe it's watching George Carlin. Maybe it's watching, Robin Williams. Maybe it's, watch your favorite comedian, whoever that is, to make you laugh, to bring you laughter. And that's the hardest part, I think, is to find the moment and the joy and the giggles. That's why at the end of every session, I'm like, I send you with that. I want you to have the giggles. I want you to have some laughter, because every day can be difficult. And, I have a friend, she keeps saying, well, let's go out to eat. And I'm like, I don't know how many other ways to tell you. I don't have money to go out to eat. That money that I spend at a restaurant can get me 2 or 3 meals at the grocery store. And I still don't have that extra cash. I already have my budget. If I spend it, there's no, it's not coming from anywhere else. Again, I'm not starving, but there's no extra. And that's really hard. I feel like in this age, in this part of my life, I should have extra. And had I planned better, I would have a little extra. So I own it. I accept my responsibility for what my failures have been. And I'm working to improve that. Mish says, I have been so behind. Oh, okay. She's still talking with Aria. Great. Keep chatting, gals. So the other thing is, how do you choose? I don't want to say choose. How do you change chaos to clarity? Like, how do you turn these tumultuous storms into like these spiritual awakenings? And continuously be grateful and continuously put out into the universe what you want. And one of the struggles that I personally have is I don't know. I'm trying to watch my words using the 4 agreements, so I don't want to say anything negative, but it's shaping and articulating, what the hell do I want? And yes, Mish, it's hard to plan for life's wrenches when you don't know where they are or where they're going to come from. And I echo that, but yet I don't want to stay stagnant in a pool of water with the mosquitoes all over me, not taking action. And I think that's one of the things that we, how do we move through that? How do we have those conversations? And, one of the things that I love about YouTube is that we get to have this conversation. One of the things I don't is that there's no round table for us to sit around and go, wait, I have this great idea. How about we do this? Maybe I'm really good at coaching other people. I suck at coaching myself. It's been, I had great information for other people. I never had a real intimate, semi-permanent relationship for multiple reasons. In some cases, I chose individuals I knew didn't want to be committed. In the other, I chose someone who didn't want to be committed to me. And in others, it just wasn't the right connection. But what I know intuitively is how it should be. And one of my dearest friends, and I may have already shared this with you, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but I think it bears repeating because there are some new people here. So if you were to articulate or think about for yourself what or who would bring you joy, what does it look like? But what more importantly does it feel like to you? And I don't need you to tell me. This is something that you can sort of hold sacred to your heart. But, sorry, I needed a little refreshment. Today is cranberry, pineapple with ginseng and honey. Yummo. So when I think about a person or persons that would make me feel good and bring a smile to my face, what is it that would do that? It's beyond the surface, right? For me, it could be somebody truly happy to see me and want to be in my company. And I never knew that would be such a difficult thing because I didn't think I was a difficult person to want to be with. And I don't think I am. And I've had these honest conversations with people that are in my life. So it's, sometimes, it's like, how is it described to me? If you keep getting fired from a job, is it you or is it the job? Well, if it's different jobs, odds are there's something you're doing or not doing. And I like to look at the mirror and say, well, am I doing something or not doing something? And what I'm doing is not choosing the people that would be happy to see me and would be happy to be in my company and have a conversation with me and hang out with me. I'm also very independent. So I don't want to be attached to the hip to anyone. So it's whether it's a friend, a lover, a companion, whatever. I love my space since I came out of the womb. But the intimacy of connection, that's a real thing. So how do we turn some of these things into spiritual awakenings? And we're going to move on into that. And then making the soul aligned decisions in our everyday life. So what supports us? So, I think there's a combination, right, for healing, energetic healing, wellness, holistic wellness that raises us up. And, we talked so today's Thursday, we talked Tuesday about frequencies. And, very much like we take a shower every day, every other day, whatever it is. It's like we need energetic cleansing hygiene, right? We need to clear the spiritual clutter for daily radiance, for daily delights and joyfulness. Oh, goodness, you have a lot of kids. I'm sorry about that, Ari. Not that I'm sorry that you have a lot of kids. I'm sorry that you don't get to have too much space to yourself. You go, girl. If you want to have more kids, you have them. Better you than me. I used to think I wanted to be a foster mom. And then I realized that I lacked a key element, which is called patience. So it was pointed out to me many, many years ago that I might want to rethink that particular desire. And now I just have health concerns now that I have time to be a foster mom. But you go, girl. Um, so think about when your energy is overloaded. Think about when that heaviness in your body, it may not be yours. Right? We've talked about this, that sometimes we're carrying our ancestral shit and we don't know how to get rid of it because we're not really sure if it's ours or not. But sometimes it doesn't feel like yours. Sometimes certain experiences, I'm like, why am I so impacted? I did not go to war. Why am I so gut wrenched and heart wrenched by certain things that I've witnessed? And it's not mine. And so think about an energetic brushing. What do I mean? So I know this happens in many other ways, but from a Reiki perspective, um, I would take my left hand and I would brush down 3 times my right arm. And then I would do the same to the other arm 3 times. Go down the front of my body 3 times, all the way down the legs 3 times, over my head 3 times, right? I'm cleansing my energy. I'm sending it out, anything that's negative, that doesn't belong to me, back out into the universe. Or even if it did belong to me, I'm washing myself of it. I'm releasing it. And whenever I did a Reiki session or a hypnosis session, I always asked my clients, and I think I did it when I did group meditations. I'm like, just clean the shit off, get it off. I'm sorry, I don't know why the potty mouth today. And so I will respect the words and use better ones. Um, and then calling your energy back. So using the sound that we've talked about, clearing rituals, using bells, using music. I think, Aria, you're the one who responded earlier that you use music, using affirmations. So I'm going to stand in my light and I am releasing what is not mine. I am standing in my light and I am releasing what is not mine. I am standing in my light. I stand in my light and I release that which is not mine. Repeat it. Find that kind of affirmation, that sound, that you can release. The other thing I think, and sometimes um, I didn't know that about you, Aria, that it goes well with your name, that you play and write music, and that you love to teach it. I have a friend who also teaches. So maybe you're somebody I can connect with to talk about the kinds of chanting that we can use and create and maybe do a live version of, through Zoom or Google Meet, so that, maybe one evening, maybe the next full moon, we can meet and talk about a chant that we all can do together to release stuff that isn't ours, or that we don't want anymore. We want to release it. Let's bring the love and light back to ourselves. And I, I know there's so many times where I don't feel like I'm connected. And so how do I get back to connected? Um, and Oh, good. Well, Mish, I hope everybody sort of thinks that's exciting. And Aria, it sounds like you have a lot of kids. You may not have The time. Yes, I know. I gotcha. I just figured that out. But I am going to reach out also. I'll reach out to you afterwards, maybe tomorrow, and just see if there's any time for us to connect. If not, I have a friend of mine, and I owe her a call as well. I really believe that us using our own voices can actually physically heal us, physically, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, in any which way you want to talk about. I think sound is critical. Um, and, I think if we use our breath, breathing in deep, and as you exhale, just imagine everything that is bugging you, hurting you, may not be of you, dissolve it into the wind and just let yourself feel lighter. So breathe in for a moment, everybody. When you exhale, let out anything that just is holding you back. And one of the things, and the reason that I showed in my short, the puppies, and I'm gonna try to post one with them chasing each other because it brings joy. But they can be the bridge to joy. A pet can be a bridge to joy. But children playing can also be a bridge to joy. Um, and finding those things and tapping into those things that bring you joy. And some days you're just going to say, Teresa, nothing's bringing me joy. And I'm not going to judge you for it because there are days that sometimes it just isn't there. But I would put out into the universe that tomorrow I'm going to have joy. Tomorrow I have joy. I am grateful for the joy that I have tomorrow. Like, you don't have to have it today if you're not feeling it. Because sometimes we get kicked down and we're like, what the heck? What are we going to do? How am I getting out of this pickle? I personally still haven't dealt with that other car that is still at the mechanics. Like, and I've been avoiding it. I'm still anxious about it because I don't have a magical $3,000. So what the heck am I going to do? And I'm coming up with solutions. I may just call Carvana and say, come take it as is and give me what you can give me for it. And I'll figure out how to pay the balance of the loan. I don't know. But, we have to tap into the small joys. And there are some kids in my neighborhood that most days bring me joy. There are days where they're just screaming and screaming, and they're doing it out of playfulness, but it hits the wrong chord in my ears. And I'm like, just shut up. Because they think screaming, it's a release for them, and they're having a great old time just annoying everybody by their screams. And I'm like, yeah, no. But, it's watching them play, watching them interact, watching them get excited by butterflies and running to chase them, and seeing the fireflies at night and their giggles. I giggled last night trying to find the moon through the trees. I saw fireflies. I'm like, usually I don't see them till August. I'm like, oh my God. And it brought me right back to my childhood. One small spark of joy. And I would, find the affirmations that ring true for you. That's what I would say. Because I think we talk about, our light dims sometimes. I have a lot of girls. I'm used to the screaming. Oh my word. They just let it go. And, it can be funny because the kids, and there are some boys there, but mostly it's girls. It's like they're going to try to outdo each other with the screaming. altitude of tonation. I'm like, oh, Teresa's not meant for this. Um, but most of the time it's pretty joyous. Um, but yeah, no. So the reason I bring up pets, cats, dogs, rabbits, ferrets, whatever it is, even if it's outside and they're not a pet of yours, I love watching the squirrels and the chipmunks. I get such delight from it. They live in that present moment. They are in the present. They're not dwelling on yesterday. They don't give a hoot about tomorrow. Um, they just, my two dogs are chasing joy. They chase each other's tails. They think it's the funniest thing when they bite each other's tails and they trip over each other. And um, just the thought of that makes me smile. How do we reclaim our own light? I would say create some routines for yourself um, that can sort of declutter the spiritual decluttering, right? It's um, breathing is key, using breath work to in and out, um, imagining all of your like stagnant, mucky energy like a pool of water. Imagine it just dissolving into the night air. Um, I did talked about the aura brushing, right? The body brushing. Physically do that. Physically use sound breath. Call back your energy. I call my energy back to me, cleansed and restored. I would challenge you to use that because I have found that it works. And it's not the exact phrasing from Lee Harris. I think that's where I got it initially, something along those lines. But call back the energy, my energy to me, cleansed and restored. And um, I would also put your favorite tune on and just jam and make it an uplifting song. So let's not go to, who is it? Disturbed that does the sound of silence in this heart wrenching way. I love the song, but if you're trying to feel joyful, you may not want to be listening to that one. I've already shared that Chumbawamba, I Get Knocked Down and I Get Up Again is one of my joyful songs because I'm like, yes, I've been kicked down to the curb. I'm getting back up and I'm going to shake my groove thing. And I literally shake my groove thing. I don't know if that's an option for everybody, but I really, when I'm that low, I put on a tune and I just shake my groove thing. One song or two songs. Sometimes I belt it out as loud as I can. Um, I know, sorry, Aria. And the other one that I also have is from oh, why do I always forget it? It's with the penguins. I got to move it, move it. I got to move it, moving the little ferret guy. I don't remember the name of the movie, but I remember Robin Williams' voice in it, and it's another thing that I'm like, I've got to move it. And in my head, I just start to just move it a little bit. And I shimmy and I shake and I sometimes pick up the puppy and dance with the puppy. And he looks at me like, I don't know what you're doing, lady, but it's hysterical. Um, and I think sometimes thinking too much is just not in our favor. So I do like to move it, move it. Madagascar, that's it. Of course, you have kids, you know that. Thank you for that. Gosh, I hope I remember it next time I bring it up. So, as we think about anchoring our energy. And I'm going to put it in the chat so that you guys can choose to take it with you or not. And that would be, hang on, I hope I can do this and it works. I think it did it. I release what is not mine. I stand in my light. I return to joy. I return to now. Ground yourself in that when you're feeling like you just can't anymore. And I have to repeat this to myself because I think the sorrow of so much loss that I feel I've experienced, and I'm no different than anybody else on this channel. You could have lost one person, you could have lost 1,000 people. The loss is the loss. It could be a pet, it could be a human, it could be a thing. And it's like the abandonment of energy. Like, where the hell did it go? It just walked its way out of my life. And when you don't have that support system to zhuzh you, to support you, to tell you you're loved, you're thought of, you're important, whatever it is that you need to hear in that moment, it's going to be okay. It sucks right now. It's going to be okay. I keep going through this whole litany of, well, where am I going to live? Am I going to stay here? I'm going to try to make this area that I'm in work. Do I need to go even more remote so that maybe the rents are more affordable, but then I'm more disconnected from human beings? Like, what do I do next? Do I partner or coordinate with somebody to use their space to build my Reiki practice to bring in some income? What happens next? And so the agita, the anxiety, the indigestion, I think that's what agita is in English. It sits with me and it burns a hole in my body. I'm like, breathe, let it go, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Because some days I don't know how or what's going to come in the next moment to resolve the situation. And I'm blessed, so it happens. But when I tell you that I literally will say, I am so grateful that my car payment was paid this month and that I'm not in trouble. Woohoo! And I've been getting this notice from, and I heard that there's been a scam going on, but I keep getting this notice that there's something wrong and that I'm going to be sent to the police because I didn't pay something with my car. And I'm trying to find out if it's legitimate or if it is this scam that's going around. Because I'm the kind of person that's always done what I'm told. And if I didn't pay something, which I'm unaware of, but it's possible, right? I mean, I play the revolving bill game. You know what I mean? Okay, that's not due till the 21st, but if I paid on the 24th, by then there'll be another check that will cover that. But you play the game. So, right? But if I'm getting a notification that I'm going to be in trouble and that the police are going to come get me because I didn't pay something, I'm going to want to know that. So, but like I said, there's been a scam. Yes, so many scams. In this particular case, because I got a car from a relative in a different state, it is possible that he turned off his Easy Pass and the license wasn't quite in my name. I don't want it to fall to my uncle who's in the hospital right now and not looking at his bill. And, I'm the one who drove it across state lines. So I just want to make sure that, everything's copacetic. Um, and so anyway, and I may have to reach out to his son, but that's not the point, right? It's the point that I'm trying to make is sometimes when stuff is just heavy, we have to step back and just say, I got to move it, or, look, there's a beautiful sunset, or look, the puppy rolled over and is splayed out for the world to see, and he's snoring like a trucker, and it's the funniest damn thing, the side of the Mississippi. So, it's grounding ourselves. Yes, there is an easy pass, Millie. Thank you so much. I just wanted, it's like these are things that come up on my radar, and I'm like, I don't know. And because I have the good girl syndrome, I don't want to ignore it if I really did screw up something. So, what are they going to do? They're going to pull me over. Josh, have a great day. Thank you for being here. Good luck at work. Sending you love, my friend. Hang in there. Don't let the turkeys get you down. And I am going to let you guys go too, because I've got to take the chuckleheads for a walk. But I really, I've been sensing a lot of energy shifts. I don't know if any of you have. And it's like, how do we bring our joy back? And I just like to think of a dog's tail wagging. That in one moment, by you looking at them, they're just like, oh, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So that's, and now I have one. Can I even do? You can't see. Oh, he's in the sunlight, but he's digging up the chair looking for a more comfortable position. Again, cracks me up. I put a special cushion there because he was destroying all my pretty cushions. All right, I just want to think about, is there anything else that I wanted to just sort of tie this all together? I just want or hope that in this energetic season, I know, in this energetic season, in the chaos, in the confrontations of the world, take a moment and literally brush it off your body. Brush it off your body and release it back out into the world to be cleansed before it comes back to you. And I would encourage people that if you are alone, to reach out to someone and just say, I need a virtual hug. I need to talk to somebody. I need whatever it is you need. Because people aren't mind readers, and they don't always know how to help you and how to raise your vibration and how to give you that extra oomph. To Millie's been feeling the shifts, and you use many modalities as well. I do not know that moon shifts are easier on me when I do the upgrade that Adam, the medium channel, does every moon. Oh, so I don't know what Adam does. I'm going to have to tap into Adam. Was introduced to him by Josh and Laura. So I have to take a gander at him. Is it tonight he's interviewing her? Really? Because then I definitely will tap into that. I'd like to have a better sense. I do get regenerated by the moon. I call to the moon's energy. I'll look it up. Thank you, Millie. I absolutely will. And I'm grateful every day. And one of the things that, I don't know if it's Lee Harris, it was definitely one of the guys that I listened to, or one of the ladies that I listened to. It was like, before you even say anything in the morning to your dogs, to anything, I am grateful that I took this breath today. One grateful thing. I am grateful I'm breathing. I'm grateful the sun's shining. I am grateful it's raining and it's nourishing the earth. I am grateful for the wind moving the energy around. Whatever it is, find one immediate thing that comes out of your mouth, and that will help start your day off on the right foot. I believe that. And I believe saying very clearly what your intention or manifestation is, or you want it to be, say it clearly and say it as though you have it. Thank you for the rent that has been paid for my apartment. Okay. And the littlest things sometimes sneak up. And so anyway, I'm so grateful and appreciative that you guys were all here. Oh, you went to his retreat in New York last August. I don't know about, again, I'm going to have to take a gander. This year there won't be many retreats for me, but maybe next year. And that's what I'm going to put out into the universe. Thank you for putting that out there. I appreciate it, Mish. Wasn't sure if you were still here. So guys, I love each and every one of you. I really do. I so appreciate you guys. I appreciate you interacting with me in the chat. And for those of you on the replay crew, please put a comment in. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. All of these things help the channel find an audience. And I want to make sure that I'm making some kind of a connection or a difference. And so that will help me a lot. And it does help those algorithms. Awesome, Melly. That's terrific information. I definitely, when we hang up, I'm going to take a gander. I wish I could show you the dogs. He's running in his sleep. Joy. Joy, joy. So I want to send you all love and light and healing, connection and community. I want to send you peace and tranquility within your soul and within your spirit, within your mind, within your body. And I want to sprinkle it with laughter, joy, and giggles. So until next time, I send you all with many blessings. And I'm so appreciative for you being here. And I hope to see some of you tonight at 7 when the Medium channel talks to Laura B. So
I'm like an ice skater dancing
thank you.
For the
Bless you all.
On the form solid ice. No more fears, no sorrows, because I love the coming tomorrows. This life has barely begun, but now I know what I want to do. I know what I want to be, reborn. Finally feeling I am fulfilling my destiny. With a heart filled of gratefulness, happiness, joy, overflowing of kindness and love, oh so much love. I feel like love is the supportive pillar in my soul, and it only grows each day. I'm reborn in love.